Sorry, everyone. I'm a novice. Hi, Bree.
Hi.
So here we are.
Are we back up and rolling?
We're back. Yep, we're back. Sorry about that,
We won't
everyone.
throw you anymore. We'll try our best.
Yeah, that was my fault.
All right, cool. Well, welcome to the international headquarters of B&E's Trees. This is our little off-grid cabin out in the woods here. So this is where Eric and I live. And we were talking about, you know, some of our favorite ways to use ramps and cook with ramps, and at like 11 o'clock last night we decided to go with a take on a banh mi sandwich. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We'll start with chopping up some of the ramps. So we've got some ramps we're using leaf only in this recipe. And honestly, we use almost exclusively leaf only in our own cooking. Here's our cat.
This is Willow.
So I'm just taking the ramp leaves and just cutting them into, yeah, maybe 1-inch strips, 3/4 inch to 1-inch strips.
So as I was mentioning earlier about the plant-based chainsaw oils, the reason that is important is just because that bar oil is spraying all over the woods. And so if you're foraging in your woods, whether you're picking mushrooms or fiddleheads or ramps, you don't want that petroleum on it. So looking for a towel. Here's one. All right.
All right, now the cat has jumped up on the table that the tripod is on, so sorry if there's any cat-related interference.
Yeah, so, Bree, did you talk about the banh mi?
A little bit, yeah.
So, what we have is some pork that we got from Enos Farms in Spring Green, Wisconsin. They have a wonderful Harvest Moon dinner. I believe this year it's the first weekend of October, and they feature some of their products and the catering that they do. I believe it's enosfarms.com, and
Oh, you can't read that.
can't quite read that? All right.
I'll bring it up here while you get yourself situated there.
And so they have pastured hogs, and we have some pork from them. And so...
And they're really nice people.
Yeah.
So we really like working with them and being involved in some of the same things that they're...
Do you want oil in yours?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to prepare the pork. It's already been cooked, so that'll be pretty quick. And then I'm also going to be preparing, so I've got 2 cast irons going, one for the pork, and then I want to get that to kind of a medium heat. I'm just reheating it. I don't want to dry it out. And then the other cast is for the ramp leaves. I'm going to wilt the ramp leaves, just break the cell walls down a little bit, and it just kind of releases some of the flavor. So I'll do that if you want to talk about what you're doing, Bree.
Sure.
So, yeah. Yeah, so one of the... are you using that?
I'm using that in the sauce. Yeah.
So Bree's going to be making a sauce that has our 2-year aged, bourbon barrel aged maple syrup in it. And for the last 1.5 years, I've been aging a hot pepper medley from cold aging from Deep Rooted Organics in Westby, Wisconsin. And I just can't believe by how cold aging the peppers in the syrup, just in our fridge, the flavor profiles, the brightness that's developed.
It's really good.
And so I like using this for everything. It's one of my favorite flavors when I just want to have inexperience, I just take a spoonful of that.
I don't. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's really fun. So, all right.
So as Eric is getting that set up, I will start making the sauce. And again, this is something we decided at about 11 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And I make something like this fairly regularly, but it's all just like some of this and some of this. So we've actually tried to write out a recipe. We'll share that with you later.
Yeah, and the pork, if you're interested in that, Enos Farms, we love working with their pork. And so I just have to warm it up. This is already cooked.
So sauce. So we've got lime juice, soy sauce, and fish sauce. I measured those out and put those together because they're both like, it's 1 tablespoon of the soy sauce and 1 teaspoon of the fish sauce. And that's the smallest container I had. But I wanted to measure everything out beforehand because I have a tendency to spill on myself, and that's embarrassing. So we'll start here. So 1/8 of a cup of lime juice, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of the fish sauce. And fish sauce has a pretty strong aroma and flavor to it. But you're using such a small amount, and in a dish, it really, like, it's, don't tell Eric, it's my secret ingredient. Don't listen.
Yeah, yeah. One of our other secrets is that we preheat our cast on the wood stove. So
then we've
nice
got,
to start with that.
yeah, we've got a 1/4 cup of sesame oil. And if you don't have sesame oil, using a good olive oil and then toasting sesame seeds. If you happen to have sesame seeds but not sesame oil, which, you know, these things happen. And then also a 1/4 cup of the aged hot pepper maple.
Yeah, and this is something that you can make at home. Stay tuned to our website, and we'll either have a recipe on there or for sale. See how that's going. But yeah, it's really fun to make. It just takes some patience, like anything.
So then I'm just whisking these together with a fork, and that will be a little sauce to drizzle on there.
So it looks like I've got this a little too hot here. I reached the smoke points of the olive oil. So I'm going to lower that, let it cool off a little bit, and then I'll wilt the leaves.
I'll just hold up my little cheat sheet here so folks can see while you're doing that. That is what we've got for the sauce. And we'll post that, you know, for more than a few seconds on a live stream a little later.
Yeah. Oh, I love working with the leaves. And when you harvest them, you know, you get a little bit of the stem in there, and so you have both the texture of the leaves, and I like wilting them, but then you still get some of that onion crunch in there as well. And so you're really not missing anything out. And I just keep moving the leaves around a little bit. Doesn't take very long to get them wilted at all. I added a little too much oil, but
yeah, that looks good right there. That's all it takes.
yeah, there we go.
You wanna put those in the bowl there and
Yeah.
then bring it up to the camera so that folks can see.
Yeah. Yep, and we're using this as a garnish on the sandwich. There we go. All right.
So we'll have the pork ready to go pretty soon. This is, here, I'll bring this up so you can see it. The cat has ideas. So this is the wilted ramp leaves, just really quick, really gentle. There's still a lot of structure to them, but the flavor just comes out so nicely there. cat needs to go outside. The cat is actually running the show here. Her name is Willow, or Willie, or
Willow Wagons.
Willow Wagons is one of our favorites. And so, yeah, we've got this going, we've got this going, we've got the sauce. And then the last couple things that we've got here, I cut up some carrots into little, fun little bite-sized carrot sticks. And then we've got some, let me chew, fermented radishes. So last fall, I was lucky enough to come across some seconds and thirds of radishes, and so I just got those fermenting, lacto-fermenting, just here at in our little cabin.
Yeah.
So you don't need a lot of resources to do this. It's just a salt, 2% salt to by mass, and so you just put them in a jar, mix up with these ones I fermented them whole, so it was a saltwater brine. Put that in there and let them go. But the
we
flavor,
love doing ferments for preservation.
And I'm kind of like, take it or leave it on fresh radishes. But the fermented radishes, I'm just like, I made a lot of them, and I'm really glad I made a lot of them. And it adds just like, it's just really good. I want to share this with you all. I wish you were here. You could eat this delicious stuff, but you'll have to, come to Ramp Fest next year.
Yeah.
So let Eric assemble his Sammy there.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we have more ramp cooking recipes and some fun videos. Jeanette has some preservation videos. And we really focus again on enjoying the leaves in them. There's a ramp pesto. There's
ramp grilled cheese.
Oh, ramp grilled cheese.
And rampled eggs. And
yeah, we have rampled eggs most every day.
And we've got all of that. Ton of great content. So this is the live stream. Here, I'll get here where you can see me. This is the live stream portion of Ramp Fest 2020, but we spent most of the month creating some really great content. Videos, cooking videos, like Eric mentioned. Larkin's got a paper making, cocktail making with Dan. So we've got and Sabrina, who's done our wild mushroom foray in years past, has made an amazing video that we've got all of that up on our website. So yeah, check that out. I will show you where that's at just a moment.
All right, now I can't forget my ramp garnish on here.
This is where the rest of the content is. It's some really good stuff. We hope you enjoy that. We have a YouTube channel now, so that's new and exciting for us. And Dan has done a darn good job getting all of our videos made. We've done a lot of learning this month. I am not a digital native, so it's been an adventure, and we really hope that you can check it out and share that with us.
Yeah. So here is Bree's delicious Ramp Bahn Mi. And on that, shall we take our sandwich and go? Should we go outside and do the ephemerals? So for more information on, let's see if I can get this on there.
Yeah, you're good.
Right there.
In just a little bit. Yeah, there you got it.
So we have a summary of our sustainability plan. There we go.
Yeah, there you
on
go.
Our website. This sustainability plan is part of our organic certification. And this plan and all of our harvest is third-party verified. And so we keep detailed records on...
Oh, buddy, only your mustache is in the shot right there. It was a little disturbing.
Yeah.
I had to
That's right.
had to have mercy on the people.
So we keep detailed records on our harvest, on which section in the woods we harvest from, how much we harvest, whether it was leaves or bulbs or cuttings, and that is audited by our third-party organic certifier. And so every year we go through those records. Oh, come on. All right.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's cut.
It's not cut all the way. There.
There we go. All right. So, if you do have any questions on ramp sustainability, please ask us. If you have any tips or suggestions, please let us know. We welcome all critique. We're all trying to figure out how to sustainably manage and enjoy ramps, and
there's always more to learn. So
yeah.
We are totally open to learning is as much a part of it as the whole process. That's really important.
And one thing we didn't mention was some of the trial plots that we have in our woods. So we're trying to look at what are the impacts on regeneration of different harvest methods at different rates. And so as the years go on, we hope to make some of this information available. We've tried different techniques for replanting the roots after harvest before, and some people have had that work. When I did it, I wasn't able to have success with that, so we stopped doing that method, for example. And then we're constantly evolving and just figuring out what is the best way to promote sustainability. And man, I tell you, I love the leaves. So, all right, let's go to the woods.
It's turned out really well.
Where is the stick? Oh, there it is. There's my head. There's my face. All right. So I am not going to drop the phone again. That's not true. I probably will. So I'm doing my best here. Doing my best.
Unscrew the thing, or yeah, you got it.
You got that. All right. Hi, everyone. Yep, this is me. There we go. So I'm resuming this. I'm sorry about that. We're going back out to Bree's ephemeral hike. As you can see, it can be quite difficult to walk through the woods without trampling on some of the ramps, so I'm trying to find the path of least ramp resistance. So, one thing that people may not know about ramps is that they're really aromatic. And so when you eat ramps, they're actually, they work as a very good odorizer. And, Bree, can you take this?
Yeah.
And so there's,
not a deodorant, but
no.
odorant.
It said that hillbilly children, if they were in their one-room schoolhouse and they had been eating ramps, nobody had to ask if they were eating ramps. They would move their desks over into a corner and really create a space around them. And so in this crazy world we're in, they may work really well as a social distancing technique that people would like to employ. So get some ramp leaves and start enjoying them.
Be careful of those.
Yep. All right. So there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start this.
All right. I'm going to.
All right, Bree. So where are we going?
I found something new this morning. So I had planned out, I found a bunch of my spring ephemerals. I was really excited about it, and then I found a new one this morning on our way in. So I'm gonna stop there first. And then we're gonna head over to where I had planned. Find it again.
So, do you want to tell us what we're doing, Bree?
Yes. So, this is the Ramp Fest 2020 Spring Ephemeral Hike. So, spring ephemerals are a really neat, early spring is a really neat time in the woods. And there's a ton of flowers and plants that have evolved to thrive in this narrow pocket between when the snow melts and when the trees leaf out. And especially in a maple forest where you've got a full canopy, it really provides an opportunity for these ephemeral flowers that, you know, if there was an open canopy, they'd be outcompeted by plants that stay growing through the entire season. In this woods, in a mature maple forest, it's a perfect environment for spring ephemerals to thrive. And ephemerals are exactly what they sound like. They're only here for a brief time. So they have to go through their entire plant life cycle, you know, from seed to the leafing stage where they're photosynthesizing, creating sugars and starches in order to produce the flowers, have the pollination, and then, you know, create new seeds. That entire process has to fit in this very short amount of time, you know, be it from a few weeks to maybe a month and a half. That's what they get. And then they, a lot of them have an underground rhizome or a bulb, some nutrient pack that they keep underground, but the entire rest of the plant dies back. So there's no evidence that they were there, aside from when they're in this beautiful blooming stage that we have now. Yeah, so we will head over to where we've got some fun stuff to look at.
Can I get my phone from you? So another thing that separates, or I guess that is significant in a certified organic maple woods is, you know, this woods, like really all woods, have had human impact for a long time, really, you know, but since the mid-1800s, it's been much more intensive and I would say much less thoughtful. And so one thing you have is invasive species, many of which came from Europe. And as part of our organic certification, we have to organically manage for the invasive species. And two that we have, fortunately not in great numbers, and really it's just the one, which is garlic mustard. And so we can't use chemical, so no herbicides. And we do mechanical cultivation. So every year, a little bit after ramp season, after our taps get pulled, we go out and we pull out the garlic mustard by hand. And that's also important if you're foraging in the woods. So if you're in a woodland and you're foraging, and there's invasive species control happening and there's herbicide application, that's going to be on, or has the potential to be on, anything that you're harvesting from that woods. And so, you know, as I mentioned, our whole farm, the woods, all the fields, everything is certified organic. And so we don't have to worry about any of that contamination. All right, let's find Bree. Oh, Bree, there's something pretty.
Oh, look, here it is. So this is bloodroot. This is an early spring ephemeral. And it's a plant that, if you're new to getting out and exploring, to hiking for doing ephemeral hikes, this is a really good one to learn and to know early on, because it is really distinct. And I just want to say another thought about ephemerals is it's a really fun way to get out and get in the woods and do some exploring. It doesn't take a lot of equipment. You know, if you've got a good set of play clothes, you know, you're gonna be down in the dirt. A lot of these plants, this is one of the taller ones at maybe 4 or 5 inches tall. A lot of them are close to the ground, but really stunning. And all you need is a good pair of play clothes and a good book. I've got Stan's Wildflowers of Wisconsin has been a guide of mine, but there's a lot of books out there, and just, you know, you're building a relationship with these different plants. You don't need to learn all of them all at once. Just find 1 or 2 that you can identify and check back on them year after year, see how they emerge, how they grow, how they seed, their whole process. And then, you know, go out in a few years and learn a new one. Every couple of years I try to learn something new.
I think I just heard swans.
Maybe. I'm going to put this back in my pocket and have a really awkward camera shot. Sorry, guys. So.
We do awkward really well.
We are, like, we might not be good at cameras, but awkward, we've got it nailed down. So, pretty little flowers. Bloodroot. Bloodroot is a really good one to start learning because it's really distinct. There's nothing that looks quite like it at all. Bloodroot flowers for only a few days. It doesn't have any nectar. It's just looking to get pollinated and then set its seed capsules. So as soon as it's pollinated, it starts dropping its petals. So it's got a distinct large white flower with a little yellow center to it. And one of the things that's really distinct about bloodroot is the leaf. The bloodroot has a single leaf, and the leaf comes up on one stalk and the flower comes up on the other. But the flower is kind of tucked in the middle of that leaf, and when it gets, if it gets overcast or at night, the flower itself closes up and the leaf wraps around it. So bloodroot has a blanket, the leaf blanket, and it's named bloodroot because you can see, I'm not sure, I don't know if you actually can see, but if you're near bloodroot in real life, you can see the stem has kind of a reddish color to it, and if it's broken, it oozes like a dark orangish reddish juice, and that's been used as a dye. But it takes, you know, not the best use of it. It's a pretty flower and really nice to appreciate for that. But it can stain. So, just so you know, play clothes. You might get muddy, you might get stained. So let's see what else we've got out here.
Ooh, do I identify jewelweed sprouting?
Ooh, you might.
So, I believe this,
Yes.
try to get a good angle of it. This right here is jewelweed, and its stem is one of the easiest ways to identify it. It's I'm gonna pick this one. We have a lot of it, and when you break the stem, it grows much larger, multiple feet tall. When you break the stem, there's this juice that kind of comes out. I don't know if you can see that at all, but this juice, if you get stinging nettles on you or wood nettles, that will help alleviate the burning sensation. And it happens to grow in environments that are also conducive to burning nettle and stinging, or wood nettle.
And,
so.
Jewelweed is not an ephemeral. So
No.
A lot of the ephemerals they have some sort of underground nutrient pack. If it's a rhizome, if it's a bulb.
If it's an annual?
The jewelweed is an annual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So the jewelweed, that plant was coming up from seed. So they actually have a really cool one of the very coolest seeding methods. So that'll grow to a plant maybe 3.5 feet tall, with these, in the fall, these beautiful kind of tube-shaped flowers with little speckles in them, and then their seed pods are spring-loaded. So it's
they're cool.
A plant that has grown springs, and when you touch it, it's also called touch me not, because when you touch that ripe seed pod, it pops open and it shoots those seeds out. So
yeah, you can have jewel weed seed fights.
Sometimes B&E.
I mean, only if you're like 6.
Only if you're
or
Team B&E and you sometimes sneak up on each other and pop them right behind each other's ears.
Yeah, they're fun.
It's a really cool plant. I'm glad that we've got a lot of it growing out here.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. As we're doing